My name is Julie Tran. I'm a senior in the Acting Conservatory and one of the showrunners for this project. It has been a really long time coming, a really long journey with multiple different obstacles we had to face. And it was especially difficult, I think, when COVID-19 happened and quarantine and having to suddenly be home. It felt really difficult at times to connect, so it really means a lot that we're all here and we're all here to share the launch of our project. So Aftermath is a collection of stories that shed light on a spectrum of perspectives in the reality of gun violence in schools in the United States. And the original title of the project was Parkland Project, based off the book Parkland Speaks, which features art and writing from students and survivors of the 2018 tragedy. But it quickly became clear to us that we needed to broaden the scope to address this epidemic in our country. So we expanded the theme to gun violence in America's schools. And there was freedom for students to work in groups or alone in researching interesting angles, voices and perspectives, and ultimately to develop their piece for the performance. And everyone was the architect of their piece, but we also had a really cool way of sharing our individual projects with each other and bouncing ideas off of one another as a group. And this collaboration especially came into play when we teamed up with the Creative Writing Conservatory's Social Justice Writing class at the beginning of the spring semester. And we thank them for helping us refine and bring our ideas to life. And a special shout out to Gabby McHale, Christina Miles, and Molly Kars from that class, and to Hannah Kim from the Film and Television Conservatory for their contributions as showrunners, along with our acting class showrunners, Daria Good, Anya Ertz, and Erica Magipinto, and myself, especially during our transition from COVID-19. And this leads me to explain how we transformed the whole performance into a digital format. Obviously, with a live component not being possible, we had to sacrifice some theatricality. But we take pride in how quickly and uniformly we came to an agreement on a solution. One that brought tremendous potential to reach a larger audience, to expand and endure. The Parkland Project's title was changed to Aftermath, Art Over Violence, and has been reimagined as an immersive website publication. Each performance was tweaked or transformed to fit within a digital format. From filmed pieces to audio recordings, multimedia presentations, and written work, this project illustrates our ability to find creative solutions to overcome the obstacle that COVID-19 threw at us. And we are hugely grateful to the website team who made this whole transition happen. Erica and Alex from acting, Gabby from creative writing, and Hannah Kim from FTV. This would not have happened without their unwavering commitment to this project. They worked night and day amidst academic pressure, AP testing, and end of conservatory commitments. And Hannah Kim, we owe you a special debt of gratitude for so beautifully, skillfully, and lovingly editing each and every recording. This was a massive task, and you completed it with both grace and humility. And we thank you so much. And we also want to acknowledge and thank Darren Stoddard, Izzy's dad, for the beautiful design elements of the website. And on a personal note, I want to thank my fellow showrunners in acting, Daria, Anya, and Erica, for all of your work and for demonstrating to all of us what strong leadership looks like. And transitioning to being home so suddenly has been difficult and has taken a toll on all of us, on our health, motivation, and drive. And I'm sure some of us wondered at times how we'd be able to continue with this or even why. And I know I did. But we did it and we're here. And I thank you to my fellow seniors. Thank you for pushing through anyway. You may not feel like you've done much, but I think you can see for yourself how every person's contribution came together to collectively create a meaningful impact. And maybe it's not perfect. Nothing is. But we are proud of what we've made. Aftermath deals with the weight of lives lost, with the danger of the culture that cultivates such violence, and the nuances of how we as a country and a people are affected by the consequences. But most importantly, this project aims to highlight the need for hope, for unity, and for action so we can ensure that kids like us, like our family members, like our friends, can go to school without fear. Aftermath is led and created by students for students, in remembrance of students who have lost their lives, for future students, and for the adults that help protect us in our education, our parents, teachers, and those that advocate for us. And finally, thank you to our teachers, Ms. Dorian and Mr. Wallace, and Mr. Bernstein from Creative Writing, for guiding us in this project and for believing we can make this possible. Truly, students need teachers like you. And before we tour the website, we will show a short video introducing Aftermath, Art Over Violence.
My name is Julie. I am an artist. I am a storyteller.
My name is Connor. I am an actor. I am a dreamer.
I'm Erica. I'm an activist. I'm a creator.
My name is Izzy. I am an aspiring surgeon. I am an actress, and I am a student.
My name is Anna.
My name is Ella.
My name is Alex. And I will be affected by gun violence.
And I will be affected by gun violence.
And I will be affected by gun violence.
The show is essentially a response. It's a show from students by students about gun violence.
It's scary how easy and how close any of us could be to this happening.
It kind of hits you that it's not this huge thing that could never happen to you. It's very much a very personal thing,
and it's something of importance, and there's not enough action in government right now. So I'm really impassioned by the issue of gun violence, and I think there needs to be a lot of change.
Students have a hard time connecting to politics and really getting involved in it. And as an art school, I think there's no better way than doing it through our artistic mediums.
I feel like activism and journalism goes hand in hand with art, and so this project was just
really interesting to take a creative, point of view on a topic like school shootings. But
I think this really gives the chance to see my work performed, see it connect to people.
Welcome to Aftermath.
Welcome to Aftermath.
Welcome to Aftermath.
So, hi, I'm Anya Ernst, and you've been watching me for quite a bit cry in a little box on your screen. But I'd like to take this time now to talk about the activism involved with this project. So I've been a longtime advocate for gun control and gun control legislator for many years, and I'm now the chapter lead at OCSA's official March for Our Lives chapter. March for Our Lives is a student-run national organization that works to combat violence through legislative action. The organization was founded after a shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida, also better known as the Parkland shooting, in February of 2018. Since then, a group of students from Parkland got together to organize the National School Walkout and Never Again campaign. Since, March for Our Lives has expanded across the country as one of the biggest student-led activism initiatives in America, and has worked to restrict gun laws and close purchasing loopholes. It is my pleasure to introduce Yasmeen Mabeen, the California State Director of March for Our Lives, who was also featured on our website discussing the importance of activism through art and is going to say a few words today. Thank you, Yasmeen.
Hi everyone, I'm Yasmin. I'm the State Director for March for Our Lives California, and I work on gun violence prevention and promoting youth advocacy. So as Anya explained, March for Our Lives was founded 2 years ago after the tragedy that occurred in Parkland, Florida. And from that event, we saw youth mobilizing from across the country and fighting and advocating strongly for change. The youth have refused to have their voices be silenced, and that's further seen in the work that you guys created today. The gun violence epidemic is very unique to our nation, and it's crucial for us to continue shining a light on it. To reach into art and storytelling is such a powerful action, and the story that you guys as young people are managing to convey is a testament to that. As you delve into the harsh reality, the complex societal response, and the culture that ensues from these tragedies, you continue to prove that young people are vigilant and are aware of the issues facing us. You're on the forefront of establishing change and meaningful conversations. The past few months have been nothing but uncertain, yet you've still managed to create something special. By sharing your voices and exploring various ideas, you're allowing people to think about these issues in a different way than they have before. And that's how change starts. So I just wanted to say congratulations to everybody involved in this project and to all the seniors that are graduating, and to continue on making work like this because it can change the world.
Thank you so much, Yasmin. If you are inspired by our project today, which we'll be showing you in just a few moments, you can find more information and join the movement at marchforourlives.org, which is linked on our website. And if you are an OCSA student, we invite you to get involved with our OCSA chapter, where you can find information on social media and on March for Our Lives official chapter pages. There are hundreds of chapters, county, city, and school-wide. So if you want to get involved, now is a great time to do so. And also look out for OCSA March for Our Lives at Club Rush next fall for all of the underclassmen. And now it's my great honor to present our showrunners, Erica Majapinto and Julie Tran. And Gabby McHale could unfortunately not be here tonight, but she's been such a great help with this project. So take it away, Erica and Julie.
Hello, everyone. My name is Erica Majapinto, and I'm a senior in the Acting Conservatory. And I would like to introduce you all to Aftermath, Art Over Violence, an original website created by the Acting and Creative Writing Conservatories from Orange County School of the Arts. The purpose of this website was to bring awareness to gun violence within schools. We did so through original works that were created in collaboration amongst creative writing and acting students. The intention for this project is to ignite change and call to action this epidemic that has plagued so many schools throughout the United States. This project first began back in October of 2019, when Mr. Wallace and Miss Dorian introduced the original senior project, as Julie previously mentioned, Parkland Project, a student-led performance based off of the Parkland shooting that occurred in February of 2018. The original idea ultimately shifted to encompass all school shootings within the US throughout the last 3 decades. It was originally intended to be a live performance consisting of scenes and monologues. As a result of COVID-19 and the subsequent school closures across the nation, the original performance would no longer suffice. Having spent countless hours working on our project and investing our heart in these pieces, as a class, we all wanted to keep the project alive. Therefore, we began brainstorming alternative platforms that the project could exist on. After having numerous discussions between the showrunners, the students, and faculty, we decided that a website would best serve in displaying these works. It also became clear that a website would allow us more freedom than the original performance would have intended. Utilizing the website also meant we could reach a much larger audience. Going forward, our intention is to have students across the nation submit original works to be displayed on this platform. The purpose behind this entire project was to take a stance against gun violence through creative expression. It was important to us that student voices and perspectives were heard through this project, as students are faced by the harsh reality of gun violence every day. Although at times these stories were difficult to retell, everyone a part of this project stepped up, pouring their heart and soul into their pieces. Art and acting have the ability to transcend violence, and in doing so inspire change. For us as students, we felt as though we couldn't stand back and do nothing to take part in resolving the issue of gun violence. We hope to bring awareness and empower others and wield change. On here, you will also see a link to Feeding America if you feel inspired to reach out during these harsh times of COVID-19. And now I would like to introduce Hannah Kim, a senior in the Film and Television Conservatory, who has helped spearhead this entire project.
Thank you, Erica. And hi, everyone. My name is Hannah. And as Erica said, I'm a senior in the Film and Television Conservatory. I'm so fortunate to be a part of this project. We worked really hard to bring this all together, and it seems surreal to finally be presenting it. I'm going to be taking you through the virtual show. The performances pull from a vast range of perspectives from the victims, family members, activists, and even the perpetrators. Time prevents us from showing the entire show, and we wish we could, but you'll get to see 3 of the performances tonight, and for now, I'd like to take the opportunity to walk you through this section of the website and show you the unique storytelling perspectives. This is Act 1, and here is the introduction video that you saw earlier. The first piece, Breaking the Lock, will be screened in a few moments. It's Okay to Be Weak is our next piece, and I think what is so powerful about Jessica's piece is that it shines light on the grieving process of people surrounding the victims of gun violence. It talks about the power of vulnerability and urges us to seek help. As we continue through Act 1, I'd like to introduce Trigger Horny, a unique character study for Jet, Anya, Maya, and Mikhail, about a group of young girls called the Columbiners. This largely unknown group idolizes the shooters of Columbine and drops us into a meeting of some of these girls. Their new friend, unaware of their fanaticism, causes a reckoning in this mysterious fandom. And I'll take you to the end of Act 1. And let's go to Act 2. So Act 2 continues our timeline. The first piece is the public address, which poignantly juxtaposes two presidential speeches following school shootings. This takes on the perspective of those in power and what it means to lead a nation through tragedy. Silence by Erica will be shown later tonight, so let me make my way to the real Iron Man. The real Iron Man is about Anthony Borges, a boy who sustained 5 gunshots from the Parkland shooting. In a therapy session, he grapples with the aftermath of Parkland, his trauma, and longing to return to play soccer. It highlights the hero within all of us, and I think that's very special. And finally, we have Priscilla's piece, much to my surprise. She speaks on her findings after researching the history of gun violence in the US and her home country, Spain, or at least the lack thereof. This eclectic body of work also operates on a common message, one of hope, one of acknowledgement and tragedies that shouldn't have happened, but also one of progress. I'll now be turning it back to Erica to show you the rest of the website. Thank you.
As you will see on the next tab, we have the written works and source material. All of the transcripts and original pieces are listed in sequential order as they appear in Acts 1 and 2. Below the linked materials are the resources which helped inspire each of these pieces or were the exact resources for the transcripts. If you have any interest in looking at the resources or written works in which creative writing and acting students collaborated on, feel free to click any of these links on the website. Next, you will see the resource tab, which includes 9 various organizations that aim to address the issue of gun violence. A few of these organizations that I would like to highlight are March for Our Lives, a student-led initiative that aims to bring awareness to this epidemic through legislative change and student-run chapters across the country. Other resources include trauma hotlines for those who have been affected by gun violence, as well as the Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence, a coalition to increase laws and restrictions. On the About Us tab, you will find the biographies of all of the students and faculty who were involved in the creation of this piece. As you can see, we had a diverse group of individuals working on this project, from 9th graders to seniors. It truly was a class effort. And lastly, we have the OCSA tab. This is an information center to learn more about Orange County School of the Arts and specifically the acting and creative writing conservatories. To find out more about OCSA, you can click the subsequent links below. And OCSA's mission really is to empower and impassion students through the arts. And I believe that this project has done just that.
We would now like to showcase just a few of our pieces on our website. Our first piece is Breaking the Lock, written and performed by Christina Jasinski. In this piece, she poetically explores the mind of a suicide-turned-shooter and asks the question, who kills, guns or people?
When she woke up that day, she decided that she was going to die. She didn't want her dad to find her. She hid in the bushes on the university lawn, blanket on the dirt behind the brush. She got down on her belly and she loaded her gun. She was 19 years old. She really liked to draw. She was quiet. She was odd. She didn't look dangerous. She just wanted to die. And she knew herself better than anyone else, better than her friends, her family, her therapist, and she already knew that she was bleeding inside. She held Daddy's gun in her hands. He told her 2 things. 1, don't hurt anybody. 2, don't hurt yourself. She was about to let Daddy down. One way or another, fate would decide which way that would be. She told herself that it wouldn't be too hard, that it wouldn't last too long. Hadn't she gotten plenty of practice sitting in front of a computer screen? But there would be no respawn this time, no loading an old save file, no starting a new game. This would be turning off the machine completely, breaking the disk, destroying the hard drive. Game over really would be game over, but she'd wanted it to be game over for a really long time. She needed help for a very long time, and she kept it under lock and key, too deep inside for your eyes to see. See? See her? They didn't. She hid in the bushes. She waited. She watched through the scope and the crosshairs. At first, none of it felt like it was real. Her finger pulled the trigger with a mind of its own, a mind that had outgrown this place it called home for 19 years. A life so short and yet much too long. In the back of her mind played her favorite song. She turned the barrel around, waiting for the world to be gone. When a hand wrapped her wrist, she grabbed her knife, but she missed. He held her down. She'd let Daddy down. Now 2 lifeless bodies laid still on the ground, neither of which were hers, as she'd wanted it to be. If she had an AR-15, those 2 would have been 20, or 30, or 40. Do you think that she'd make headlines today? Or is 1 or 2 not enough for you? Wouldn't you rather talk about more? Maybe that's why she thought that her life wasn't worth living, because 1 won't be missed. It's only in masses that anyone matters, and at any moment we can lose so much in so little time. And nowadays, the list of names of lives taken by the hands of another is too long. Too long. Too long to remember. Sirens sounded. The air fell still. Silver bracelets chained her wrists together. Her plea was guilty. Her sentence was long. And life behind bars was almost as empty as no life at all. She didn't mean to hurt you. She aimed at herself first.
In our next piece, Silence, performed by Erica Magipinto, she takes the words of Emily Gonzalez, a prominent activist and survivor, and shines a light on the relationship between gun violence and the lack of government action.
In a little over 6 minutes, 17 of our friends were taken from us. 15 were injured. And everyone, absolutely everyone in the Douglas community was forever altered. Everyone who was there understands. Everyone who has been touched by the cold grip of gun violence understands. For us, long, chaotic, tearful hours spent in the scorching afternoon sun were spent not knowing. No one understood the extent of what happened. Everyone who is here today should be at home grieving. But instead, we are here together because if all our government and president can do is send thoughts and prayers, then it is time for the victims to be the change that we need to see. We are going to change the law, and it's going to be due to the school board, to the faculty member, to the family members, and most importantly, the students. Students who are dead, students who are injured, the students suffering from PTSD, the students who had panic attacks during the vigil because the helicopters wouldn't leave us alone, hovering over the school for 24 hours a day. If you don't do anything to prevent this from continuing to occur, the number of gunshot victims will go up and the number that they are worth will go down. To any politician that is taking donations from the NRA, shame on you! Shame on you! They say that a good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun. We call BS. They say no laws could have prevented hundreds of senseless tragedies that have occurred. We call BS. They say that as kids don't know what we're talking about, that we're too young to understand how government works. We call BS. If you agree, register to vote. Contact your local congresspeople. Give them a piece of your mind. Fight for your lives before it's someone else's job.
And our third piece that we're showing, The Simple Things, is a piece also written by Christina and edited and voiced by myself as Melanie Spala, giving words of advice after an untimely death.
There's an oak tree growing on Penn State lawn. The bark is smooth and the leaves stretch up and out like a great green hand reaching for its maker. It was planted for me. And when the sweet summer breeze rustles the leaves of my modest tree, I think that life is exactly as it's meant to be. I was cross-stitching decorations for my dorm. My needle slides through the fabric with ease. I form each letter with a careful plunge. Lord, teach me the simple things in life. My body absorbs into the earth, but my soul is with God. It started off as an ordinary day. The leaves were turning to fall, but the sky had yet to go gray. My life was ended by a single shot. I collapsed. And what was supposed to be the start of another year of learning ended before it could begin. Please don't forget. Tomorrow is only hours away. Just make it through the day. Find a speck of goodness to carry you through. For every shadow, there's a light that created it. For every pain, there is joy to be found. For every struggle, there is triumph at the end. Please don't ever forget that life is worth living, and people are worth loving, and it's the simple things. It's a tree on a lawn in University Park that stands for so much as it stands for just one. My name is Melanie Spala. Lord, teach us the simple things.
You're on, Julie.
On behalf of the showrunners and the entire senior class, we want to thank everyone for being here with us tonight and to share the launch of our project. Aftermath was created for students by students, so it is truly special to see everyone's contribution come together and to experience the fruits of our labor and passion. And we want to reiterate the purpose of Aftermath: to honor the victims, fellow students, and teachers who were unjustly taken away by gun violence in our schools, and to not remain silent while this is the reality we all live with. Aftermath is the culmination of 2 conservatories at one school, but imagine how much more we could do with the contributions of kids, students, teachers, and advocates all over the country. We are extremely proud that this website will be made public, and we want students from all across America to see our site and be inspired to contribute their voice, their art to Aftermath. We want them to follow our lead. And you may feel powerless at times, being just one person, but this project illustrates how together we can create an impact. Choose art over violence. Take action against violence. And once again, thank you for being here with us to celebrate. And as hard as it has been and still is, this achievement is deserving of celebration. And with that, I give it over to our conservatory director, Mr. Walcott.
Thank you, Julie. Okay, my friends. Wow. That's very, very impressive. I'm very proud. I could not be more moved and grateful. I'm happy to know you. Your futures are bright. It's time for you to fly, class of 2020. And don't think of this as goodbye, because we are family. You go away, you do your thing, you make your mark, and you can always come home. We'll be waiting for you. And the younger generations will be waiting to hear from you. And if you're a younger student in this conservatory, look what you can be. Look what you can do. Write your stories. Thank you.